Alright, guys, welcome to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got the whole band back together. It is the Shant, Dan the Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name... Don't mind that. My name is the Commish. And not only am I the advocate of this podcast episode, but I will be taking full note control of every single match breakdown, other than the match breakdown guy himself, Dan the Man.
Oh dear.
What is this episode sponsored by?
It is sponsored by the WWE Network, where you can catch all your favorite WWE programming for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
Also brought to you by WWE Elite Collection. Collect the Elite.
And by McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm not going to finish the rest. We'll get sued.
I'm just loving it. We are here to discuss WWE Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Should we get into it?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Alright, let's dive right in. So, I know a lot of other people have addressed this one.
You just said dive in. Where is this special episode being done today?
You go ahead, Dan.
So we are recording poolside today. So you got we'll start with the pre-show. You got the 10-on-10 Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match. I know I browsed the internet a little bit, and everybody else who's already addressed this seems to be pretty much in consensus that WWE gave zero fucks about this match.
And New Day called them out on SmackDown with the 6-1 thing.
Yep, I loved seeing that segment, even though it is Thanksgiving coming up. The fact that they call it out, but just like the kickoff show, which I found extensively long, the kickoff show, even though on the network it says it's 2 hours long, I think if you logged in earlier, it felt like 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, you don't need that long of a pre-show. And then to screw all these, like, what? More than 20 guys, I think? Almost up to 20.
22.
It's a lot of screwing.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's why I don't give this match any grade, because it's like, the WWE already did it for them.
You have a team that is fully established that can play it either face or heel, and yet for the 20th time consecutively, they're on a pre-show and nowhere on the card. And people can say, oh, the pre-show counts. Honestly, it doesn't. Everyone has like this low regard and just this, this demeanor of like, oh, it's the pre-show, and screw it, and they tune in right when the actual event starts.
Which I'm guilty of, because a lot of the times if I have other things going the day that we're gonna watch the show together, I'll show up right as the actual pay-per-view is gonna start. Which is what happened in this situation.
I think that's the same case with me, because it's just like these kickoff shows. I'll be honest, like, it's great seeing, like, alumni and Hall of Famers like kick off the show with their commentary, but at the same time, when you put a match that could do well in the main show, you're just saying like, oh, it's okay, this is how we want to start. We don't want to start off with a bang. You're just like, whatever about it. That's why, like, I think just like you, I'll tend to show up right as the event is starting.
Right.
Yeah. So, general consensus, meh.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let's go to match number 2, which is Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, with the women.
The traditional 10 female Survivor Series
5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match, featuring...
Compose yourself, please.
Featuring Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya and Ruby Riott got into a tiff before the show even started, and were replaced by Bayley and Sasha Banks. We were missing a member of Team SmackDown going into this event, and we found out in a segment instead of just during the entrance who it was going to be. Also, underwhelming entrant, because we have Naomi, Carmella, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and Mandy Rose.
Unless you're Corey Graves sucking to the teat.
Liv Morgan's twin
Rose.
sister.
Okay. Like I said, I've taken notes about this whole event. I told the guys beforehand, Team Raw change-up was good, in my opinion, with Sasha and Bayley, just because I thought... I think in one or two interviews throughout the whole weekend, the whole mentioning of the number 4 was brought up. So by putting them in to the event, maybe we could have seen the 4 horsewomen of WWE, maybe not. I don't know, but that's my first note on the Raw side. Team SmackDown was my choice to win, Asuka being the lone survivor. Obviously, there's a different outcome to that. Before I give the rest of my notes, gentlemen, anything you guys want to...
Obviously, Riot Squad no longer at ringside either because Ruby was gone.
Well, I think I even said it too. It's like, why couldn't just have Bailey and Sasha announced originally? It's a no-brainer. They're if they're given the opportunity, they're one of your top contenders.
Yeah.
I think what it is because they try to make all of Team Raw be an entire heel entity versus Team SmackDown's face entity.
Yeah.
There's that
Because if
too.
you look at the SmackDown team, all of those girls are faces.
Well, is Mandy?
She's kind of like borderline anti and
Yeah.
heel.
Yeah.
But still, it's supposed to give the whole face versus heel establishment of both teams.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred if Alexa would have just like played by the rules and like, all right, I should actually vote for people that are going to compete, not, oh, I want all my heel friends with me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's not on my notes.
Well, I mean, we see in this match and the later match that there's they kind of tried to parallel each other because you have a member of Team SmackDown out almost immediately. Naomi eliminated within probably a minute and a half.
Team captain, by the way.
Team captain eliminated very, very quickly by Tamina.
Yes.
Super kick. Nice.
I've
But
seen
then-
that somewhere before, by
But
the
then
way.
who's Schoolboy Tamina right after?
Bailey?
Wasn't it Carmella?
It was
Was it
Carmella.
Carmella? It was Carmella because then
Dance
she got
break.
up and she flossed. So you're going to hear a lot of planes. If we stop for every plane, this is going to be a very disjointed sounding podcast. So just bear with us.
Here's my note about Tamina. Why is she still in the WWE? Is it because of her royalty with the name...
Dan,
What?
Why is she still here?
I think they're...
she sells herself as like, I don't care if I'm here because half of my career I've been injured.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's almost like she cares as much as the WWE universe cares.
Well, she's irrelevant to me. I'm sorry. She's like, I get it. You come from the famous Snuka family.
And I think that's what it is. I think with,
Infamous Snooker family
Oh.
at this point.
careful. I think especially with everything that happened with Roman, it's like I think they're trying to implement like the Samoans and the Snuka.
But okay, but we've had that for years with the Snuka and the Anoa'i family. You know, because a lot of members of that family were there as well, with Yokozuna, Rikishi, The Rock,
Yeah.
Rikishi did it for The
Umaga.
Rock.
Umaga. Everyone in these families has been in this business, which is fine, which shows that Vince does care about diversity, even though we've seen his antics.
Yeah.
You know, but my thing is with her, it's like, I get it, you come off as a heel, but you come off in a way where it's like, it doesn't matter if you leave. Like, go to ROH, go to Impact. I heard they're hiring.
Oh.
So did Kurt Angle. Just leave. If you're that uninterested because you're not getting a push, and because Naya is getting a push, leave. That's my note on her.
I also think Tamina is kind of a victim of circumstance because I've seen this before where they'll start an angle with her. Like I remember there was one angle where Lana was going to be her manager, and I'm like, this would be really interesting, like a Russian being the manager for a Snuka,
Yeah.
and just 2 weeks later, like it
They-
was just
They just called it
slip
off.
on the rub, and I'm like, you could have built Tamina
But-
to be like, a force to be reckoned with.
But the thing is, didn't she get hurt? At one point?
I think that one might have been an injury thing, or it was they were double booking Lana. I can't remember. It was one of the two, or they were double booking Lana and then they steered into one storyline and dropped that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should not use this analogy
Oh god.
to avoid sensitivity, but it's the easiest way to say this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
I know where he went with that analogy.
So you've got Nia Jax,
Oh.
who just broke Becky's face. and she comes out to raucous boos, which we all know WWE is gonna
Capitalize.
perceive as a rousing heel success. But it's really that we just hate how careless she is.
But it's not even that as well, because, okay, so this is my note
Yeah.
on Nia Jax, and I'm going to read it as I wrote it. Taking advantage of an opportunity to have spotlight on her by purposely having Sasha Banks eliminated.
Yeah.
Like, really, was that necessary? Like, the two of you could have won, and then you could have done what you infamously do. You both get your hands raised, then you can attack her. Just do that. No. You purposely chose to have her get eliminated by Asuka, and then you take the win right after. And to me, that's like, well, you're not playing fair. You think this is all about you because of what Corey Graves had to say, her hashtag facebreaker. And it's, to me, that riled me up a lot, because it's, you don't care. Like, you're proud of what you did, but I'm pretty sure behind the scenes you were reprimanded really bad for ruining the main event, which would have been something that could have put WWE, as far as like this whole women's movement, even further.
Yeah.
But you guys chose, no, I'm sorry, Nia chose to be a bitch about it. Like, no, I'm not gonna attack her. Like, oh, I'm not gonna attack Becky Lynch like kayfabe. I'm legitimately gonna sock her in the face,
Yeah.
concussing her, black eyeing her, and taking
Blood.
her out of Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple things to say about that, but I'll save it for when we talk about Charlotte and Ronda, because
Oh, and for my new segment,
oh god,
Are we doing that now?
oh no, we're doing it towards the end, but
strong language maybe.
I'm gonna, I don't know if you guys are grading this. I graded this whole pay-per-view. I gave this match a B,
Okay.
just because of the fact that you had the good and the bad elements of every female entertainer in there. It would have been an A if Nia didn't do what she did.
I give it a B minus.
I'm probably somewhere around there. Yeah.
Well, next up, we've got. How do you like to pronounce his name?
Sako Rollinsian.
Defeating Shinsuke Nakamura.
Don't you pronounce every other name differently, though?
Well, I mean, I hadn't done it so far, but
He's keeping the kayfabe.
Okay, that's fine.
so you had Sako versus Shinsuke, just fighting each other. A lot of 21 and a 20. Wow, that was a long match.
Yeah.
21 and a half. No, I'm doing math wrong. 21 minutes 50 seconds. So 22-minute match. You see Seth Rollins go over.
Surprisingly.
Clean, if I recall correctly.
I found this to be the best match of the night. I'm personally going to label it that, just because I think they both gave it their all. They wanted to prove who was the better, even though Seth got put over. Commentary did annoy me about bringing up Dean Ambrose towards the beginning of the match, like for like 5 minutes straight. But then the focus was back on those two, and it's like, all right, now we have a match. Now we're focusing on who's the better.
Yeah.
Granted, you can't put titles on the line because it's cross promotions, and then at
This
one
isn't
point-
the invasion.
yeah. But it would have
Did
been.
I hear Invasion? You can catch the Invasion only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
Not $10.
It's not $10.
What? Not $1 million. That got tripped up.
It's not $1,000.
There we go. Not $1 million.
But only $9.99. I was actually surprised because seeing as how Shinsuke has really slipped down the card, and the company for that matter,
Yeah.
because you have someone who's holding a title and in some pay-per-views is not even booked, has not even had a title defense.
He's just clinging onto that
Yeah.
belt.
So I was thinking if Dean Ambrose comes out and interferes, that explains why Seth loses. You build on that storyline, and Shinsuke finally gets a win and kind of, can build his momentum from there. I'm not against Sako winning, but just given the circumstance, I would have preferred to do it where Shinsuke goes over, just to kind of give him that momentum that he needs again.
Yeah. But obviously that wouldn't have played into the 6-0 angle. Any other thoughts before we move on to the next match?
Gave this match an A,
I would give
Solid A.
anything with Sako, isn't it?
I'll give it an A.
which this gives Team Raw the 2-0 advantage.
Correct.
2-1. quotations.
with an asterisk. So next we go to everyone's favorite match of the evening, a 9-minute tag team match between AOP and The Bar.
The troll of the night.
There it is.
I'm gonna call him out because I've never liked him. I've never liked his antics, and the fact that he does that says a lot. And that the fact that you're still trying to sneak into WWE events.
If it's any consolation, he's doing fine.
Not when he hangs out with
Oh,
Teriyaki Sauce 69.
Okay, all right.
So
Wow. Wow.
What?
So they've
It's a
got.
rapper. Who's about to go to jail, by the way.
The
Hell yeah.
69 is what got me. Go ahead.
So it's part of the name.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that's so you have we'll address the match in a second. Some journalists have said they don't want to give him the attention. We'll just address it real quick because it fucking happened. So you got the camera shifting. All of a sudden, Enzo stands up, rips off his disguise, and starts to stand on his chair near ringside. And WWE just shuts that down real quick. They shift to all the other cameras. Security runs in and they rip him out of the place. And really, it doesn't seem like he was all that successful. I wouldn't call this a successful publicity stunt overall.
It's successful when it's on social media, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was looking for.
I just don't know that he got as much buzz or attention as he would have liked. But yeah, he got a little bit.
But that's what makes him the troll of the night for the event.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. It's true.
It's damn true.
So
It's Dan. True.
So yeah,
Huh?
Enzo stands up in the middle of the match, starts heckling, gets thrown out, and now he's getting all this buzz after he dropped. I think he dropped a rap song earlier in the day about Liv, or what's suspected to be Liv.
No, it's about her.
It's about Liv, and yeah, what an asshole.
But now let's go into the match itself.
Yeah, into the match itself. Not much better.
I think the match
Is this
was
your
just
troll
as
match
bad.
of the night?
No, I labeled this as the annoying match of the night.
All right, so you got AOP. They do pick up the win over the Bar.
Drake Maverick.
Tinkerbell.
Leaving his pixie dust all over the ring
Okay.
and making the Big Show laugh. If you can make the Big Show laugh, that just saves the match, kind of.
So not to attack the logistics of it at all, but Big Show grabs Drake Maverick, choking him a little bit up on the ring apron, and you kind of watch Drake Maverick struggle with whatever plumbing is in his clothing, because I'm pretty sure he was supposed to look like he pissed himself a lot more than he did versus that tiny little stream. But yeah, how do we feel about involving urine in this match?
You're in trouble.
That's the best pun for it, to be honest. I wasn't even invested. I was not paying attention throughout this whole match. I gave this a D.
Ooh, wow.
I'll give the match a P.
For piss. Passivity.
I'll give it a B for bladder issues.
You guys aren't gonna get away from this for a minute. Sorry. So yeah, AOP wins.
Look,
More
all
doesn't
I'm
mean
saying,
anything.
look, there was no titles on the line. There was a golden shower, so some type of gold was seen in the match. I'm just saying.
But yeah, and then it carries over into Raw where we just see more jokes, and then AOP loses anyway. So what in the fuck? Anyway,
But they do lose to a good team on Raw. I mean, they're coming up pretty well right now.
yeah, but you shot your momentum right in the face.
No, that's true.
All right, so we've given our grades. Let's move on to what some other people would consider the match of the night. Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
I said it was the second best match of the night. I'll say that. John?
Again, everyone wants to take a shit on the cruiserweights, but it's the one match that always keeps on delivering.
They steal the show. I think they steal the show in a way that it keeps you entertained. It brings you right back if you were locked out from the prior match, and then it keeps you invested after the fact, because if they are put right in the middle of the show, it's like, okay, you have the ability to continue carrying the show for everybody that's already viewing, or everything's lost.
Yeah.
All fails at that point.
These two are both very athletic guys, so
Especially
they
Mustafa.
can put on a
Man.
match. Yeah.
Well, I felt like he was more in favored as the face, where back during Super Showdown, Buddy Murphy was the face since he was in his home country.
The only match that actually was relevant.
But still, like it was a good match. Like I was right back in focus. The action was crazy.
Yes.
High flyers. Dude, they just have like that adrenaline rush
Yeah.
all throughout. Like once the bell rings and it just stops right at the end of the second bell.
And think about how deliberate it is to put it right in the middle of the entire pay-per-view.
It's
Now-
just to keep you invested.
Now I have a question.
Are you taking a survey?
Hey yo.
I suppose so. Is it a rule in WWE that if you're a cruiserweight you have to do the Spanish Fly? Because I feel like most of your cruiserweights do that move.
As long as they do it on the Spanish announce table.
Did we have one of those? Did we have one of those the other day?
We did it. Yeah, we did it, but they didn't tear it up.
Yeah.
They were on the German announce table. I'm like, what are you doing?
Danke.
I do have to mention something about tables though, because of the fact that now all of a sudden they get rebuilt immediately.
In front of you, like while you're watching the next match, you see the crew in the back putting that thing back
But
together.
that's why they try to focus the cameras away. But if action steers in their direction, it's like, damn, now we got to find a different angle to show you.
Duck.
Go back, you guys.
But I do grade Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali, with Buddy Murphy retaining his title at A-, because it is the second best match of the night. In my opinion, I think you guys rate it as the best match. I don't know how you guys are going to grade this one.
It was great, but Buddy Murphy is still with my girl, so I'm very bitter about that.
I'll still give it an A.
Which still gives, this had no implication of the Raw SmackDown teams, so it's still Team Raw at 3 to Team SmackDown's quote-unquote 1, even though they want to label it as 0.
However, if you go based on the screen graphics, Raw would have still gotten the credit for this one.
Yeah, because it looked like
'Cause
Buddy
he
was in
on the
favorite
left.
on the Raw side.
On the red side, yeah.
All right, so let's step into another 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. We got Team Raw, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley, with Baron Corbin and Leo Rush.
Lashley.
And they
Look at
go
those
over.
glutes. Look at those glutes.
He smells like money.
He looks like money.
Leo Rush is an idiot. There, I said it.
There it is.
And they defeat Team SmackDown, which consists of The Miz, Shane O'Mac, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, Jeffrey Hardy,
Joey Samoa.
Joey Samoa.
Side note, what is The Miz trying to do with Shane?
Cuddle him. I don't know. I think it's just. I think this might be a plot line to kind of. Maybe it'll be a double turn. Like we'll get The Miz to officially be a face, and Shane will do his
That'll be
his
funny.
heel turn.
That'll
But I think they're going for sort of a fanboy angle with The Miz now.
Oh God.
You got Samoa Joe in this match, eliminated immediately by the Claymore kick. The
You-
crowd was not feeling that.
You took out your anchor immediately. That was just like taking out the captain of the female side.
Well, I
earlier.
think because while they're trying to build Drew as the Beast, they're doing it at the expense of
Everybody else.
the home invader.
So let's call this match like it is. I personally thought this one lasted too long.
24 minutes.
You could have given this match
Wow. Was it
less.
24 minutes?
Yeah, you could have
24
given
minute
this
match.
match less time and allocated time to other matches.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was looking forward to dissension between Dolph and Drew to build their angle, but
Which we didn't get.
I think now it's just they're just separated because on Raw, Drew was like teaming up with Lashley and Corbin, and Dolph was just nowhere to be found.
So I think that's the angle they're giving in regards to Braun, because Braun was supposed to get his opportunities. I also wrote this in. Baron Corbin is just annoying to me. I don't care if he's acting general manager or he's going to be promoted to full-time general manager. I thought with Team Raw winning, Baron Corbin would realize, like, okay, I'm going to go back on the active roster completely now. I'm not going to be a general manager. I'm not going to be a part-time wrestler. No. Stephanie's going to fire me, and I have to now deal with Braun. But for him to get his cheap shot in on Braun was annoying. And then the following night on Raw to, like, break his elbow practically. I found all of that to be like, well, you're just a chicken shit in my eyes now.
Which, as we've learned, he has to undergo a little bit of surgery to remove bone spurs in the elbow, I guess.
So they were trying to.
So it's writing him off.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It's like what does Braun have to do to get a good push at this point?
Honestly, they could have pulled the trigger way back in Crown Jewel, but
the thing is, it's not their fault because technically at Crown Jewel we were supposed to have something else, but due to life circumstances, we couldn't get that with Joe.
But while putting the title back on Brock, which obviously nobody wanted, you could have put the title on Braun.
True. But I found this match to be too long.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin was annoying, like I wrote in my notes.
And Shane McMahon, God bless you. Dan, I have never seen you laugh so hard in your
That was
life.
one of the funniest things I've ever
never
seen
him laugh like that. Every time when Miz is like, Shane!
Because you had Miz do his little doe eye thing. He's like, we're going to do this. Shane, go up top. And I was like, oh my God, they're doing it again.
Shane's like, really?
So they did.
You really want me to do this?
So they did the elbow, and then you have him on the apron, and he just looks exhausted for the first coast to coast. He's like, all right, I'll do it, and he eliminates Dolph off that, if I recall correctly. Yeah. And then you set it up with Lashley for the second one,
bad idea.
And he is dead. Shane is just dead, and then he gets chest clubbed out of the air by Braun Strowman.
I thought that was amazing.
Which is the beginning of the end for the match, though. So, I don't know if I can remember the elimination order here. Samoa Joe goes first. And then... Does Finn eliminate
It was a cluster.
Jeff?
There was a weird cluster at one point.
Ray eliminates Finn. Dolph is eliminated by Shane. And then Braun
takes
Is that
up the
right?
rest.
Yeah, Braun eliminates Ray, Jeff, Miz, and then finally, and I, like, at that point, I thought there was going to be an issue, and I was telling this to Shant as we're watching. So you've got Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley on one side, Shane McMahon left. Shane looks at Braun, he goes, come on. We still had the stipulation of Braun can't touch Baron until the pay-per-view is over. I was expecting something where Braun comes in contact with Baron. Baron's like, it's over. You don't get to face me now. Which then would make Braun go, well, then fuck this match. And he would turn on the others, costing them the match. And then you would have the best in the world as your sole survivor. And I turned to Sean and I'm laughing. And I'm like, Shane's going to be the last one. Shane's going to win the match. Clearly that did not happen.
But it was really underwhelming. Really underwhelming.
Well, this leads me to my last notes about the match. That one, thank God Leo Rush wasn't allowed a microphone.
Yeah,
because that would have just ruined it even further. I thought SmackDown should have been dominant.
Wait,
given the time that they were for the match, I thought Team SmackDown should have won this.
Elias was not in this match,
no,
right?
He wasn't. Okay. I thought Team SmackDown should have had the victory, and the angle you were going with, I thought that's how it was going to be.
Yeah.
That not only is Shane McMahon the best in the world, he is the sole survivor now.
Yeah.
But that's not what.
That would have been a good way to go, and they just didn't do it.
I felt like they botched the match on purpose at one point.
Maybe.
So I gave this a C+, which now gives it Team Raw 4, SmackDown 1, or 0.
Correct.
How do you guys feel?
I'll give it a C.
Yeah, I'm right there. Very abrupt end. You should have built to something at least.
Yeah.
All right. So what's our next match?
Okay.
You know what our next match
Oh,
is.
I do know what our next
God.
match is.
We move on to match number 7, a singles match, 14 minutes, 40 seconds,
Should have been longer.
starring Charlotte Flair
Woo!
and RBBRW?
Merbauer, mouse rat, raccoon, bluebird, red wing. She is now designated as a red wing as well because of her stupid makeup. Ronda, I still do not belong in the WWE. Rousey.
All right, so Ronda wins, in a way.
Disqualification.
Yeah. So,
You guys go ahead. I'll be the last one because
Oh, I have a lot to say. I don't think you want to be the last one.
so you got Ronda Rousey and Charlotte, and they're having a pretty competitive match. I've said to both of these guys, this was Ronda's best match to date. It was very technically sound for the most part. Relatively entertaining. Ronda may or may not have gotten a tooth knocked out. I don't know if that was legitimate or not. But you have the match go to where Charlotte's arm seems to be a little sore. She rolls out. She's taking a breather. Ronda says, nah, fuck this. She gets out and she tries to Braun Strowman Charlotte.
Wrong. So
And-
wrong to try that.
And so Ronda comes around the turnbuckle and whoosh, surprise. Charlotte with the kendo stick.
I think that was a home run hit.
huh?
And not just one shot with the kendo stick.
Oh,
Not
No.
just two shots with the kendo stick, or three, or four, or five,
wait,
or
if
six.
we're gonna do this, let's do it the right way. Go ahead.
We're waiting for the plane to pass, guys.
I don't want this to be interrupted. She comes around the turnbuckle and takes not one shot from the kendo stick.
What?
What?
Not two shots.
What?
Not three shots.
What?
Not four.
What?
Not five.
What?
Not six.
What?
Not seven.
What?
8.
What?
9.
What?
10 shots.
What?
She takes a lot of shots from that kendo stick.
And thrown into this the steel steps as well.
Yes.
Shoved into the steel steps.
Looks like Ronda gets sliced open a couple of times from these kendo stick shots. She
A
gets
couple. She's lacerated.
She's lacerated. She's bleeding from just above her right ear. She's got bruises.
Can I tell you, I was seriously caught off guard with Charlotte snapping.
I love it.
I was just shocked. I actually had the whole holy shit factor
And
going.
God bless her. But
Who?
Charlotte.
Oh.
He's not gonna bless the other one.
God bless Charlotte. This is my only vent about the whole thing. Watching her struggle to put that chair on Ronda's head.
Oh, yeah, because you called it. She
I
did
was
it in
like,
reverse.
what the fuck is she doing? She's putting the chair on wrong because she was placing the seat of the chair on Ronda's face. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not right.
That's the other
That's
way.
not right. So, God bless her. But if you're gonna do a spot like that, you should probably practice.
Here's my thing. Another thing I wrote. I was annoyed again with Ronda's constant shit talking.
You want a souvenir?
Was she?
Who wants a souvenir?
Oh, she needs to shut the fuck up.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like that? What was she
Yeah.
saying in this match? I didn't catch it.
No, she just kept talking like, huh? You want to fight? Let's go. Blah. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I forgot she did that in the Octagon.
Well, I mean, if you missed it just like I did, you can catch it on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
I was happy the way the match ended, even if Michael Cole, Renee, and Corey were just so like annoyed and pissed about it, and just trying to down. I guess they were doing it because it's a SmackDown wrestler destroying one of their Raw talent, and it's like, no, I don't care how pissed you are. I'm pretty sure if we put the announcers on for SmackDown, they're cheering it, just like the rest of the fucking crowd was.
Yeah, crowd loved it.
I thought this is leading up to the bigger build-up because this was supposed to be the WrestleMania match
Yeah.
next year. But to have this now, because of the substitution with Becky getting hurt, is a bigger build-up now, which is, I think, appropriate now because you're setting up, hopefully, a good story
Yeah.
with these two.
I wanted to jump forward just a second to address what happened the last couple days on Raw and SmackDown regarding these two, because you had Ronda and she said, "Charlotte Flair, I didn't forget about you. I'm going to deal with I'm going to deal with Ronda Rousey." I'm going to deal with Nia Jax, and then I'm coming to finish what we started. So they planted the seed for Ronda v. Charlotte too. And then on SmackDown, you have Charlotte, who manhandled a bunch of referees and got fined $100,000. Very content, very smug with what she did.
Well,
She's like, nah,
I think
fuck her.
it's showing sides of Becky's attitude instilled in her.
Yeah.
Either that's what the story is playing along. That
The
like,
unrest of the outsider.
yeah, or it is something that snapped in her that Becky did something.
I think you alluded to this before. It's kind of like if I kick your ass, it's one thing, but if somebody else does it, like, it's on.
Yeah.
And I think they can really play off of that. It's like, we can kick each other's asses all we want, but if someone dares to look at you the wrong way, I'm
there for you.
So
go
here's
ahead.
my thing.
Take it away.
This is the notes I had. This is like a separate whole set of notes just for Ronda.
Release.
In this, okay, this isn't the segment yet.
Okay.
You guys might want to kick your feet up, though.
A few things about Ronda. Shut the fuck up during your matches. Just shut the fuck up.
There it is.
For the love of God. During your MMA career, yes, I took deep notes about you.
Uh-oh.
9 out of the
You're in trouble.
9 out of your 12 matches, which were submission wins, it took 2 of those longer than a minute. One of them took 3 rounds for you to win. With your stupid armbar. I'm not even going to give you the credit of it. I'm not, even though I'm known for that right now.
Don't even call it an armbar, just call it a maneuver. She doesn't get the distinction of calling it an armbar.
It's a maneuver.
Anything longer than a minute in her MMA matches always made her weak. That's the same result right now. Renee tried to say it about her, like, oh, she gets the job done. She's just there to finish it quick. It's like, no, you're not in MMA no more. You're in the WWE. You're supposed to entertain and also show that you can wrestle. You're not there for your quick victories and then to be praised by everyone in the world, even though the reality is you're not. Your last 2 matches in MMA, by the way, with your cocky, I'm the baddest bitch in the planet attitude, cost you not only your title, not only were you exposed, you were exposed twice. Once by Holly Holm to lose your title, a second time for Amanda Nunes to just destroy you and make you cry your way out of MMA. And you got your ass kicked because of it. Same results against Charlotte. You got your ass kicked and you got beat the fuck down. So that's all my notes on Ronda. I don't care about Corey Graves' opinion saying that Charlotte couldn't beat Ronda, because she could have, but she chose to give her the beating that Ronda's had coming for a while now. This whole I'm the baddest bitch on the planet attitude, this whole like I'm the best here, I'm still undefeated. No, you're just getting a push from Vince or from Hunter or whoever's controlling you right now. But to me, you don't look like the best. Charlotte's better than you. Becky is better than you. I'm sure if Becky wrestled you, this would have been the same outcome, if not worse.
I actually mentioned it. I was like, once the match was done, I'm like, Dan, do you think that this was maybe originally planned for Becky? Because it does look like a Becky thing to do, especially at this time.
I just think Charlotte took it further. I don't think Becky would have gone as far. Like, yeah, she would have gone. She went far on Raw with just the chair. Charlotte went far with the kendo stick and the chair and the steel steps, and to come back and do it again. All I'm saying is A+. Regardless of the outcome, this was an A+ for me.
Here we go.
What a twist.
But this does give them the Team Raw 5 because Ronda won on a disqualification
She didn't look like a winner.
to SmackDown's 1, quote unquote.
So, I've been saying that I'm kind of trying to be very logical about this whole thing. So, of course, in an ideal world, we would want to see Becky versus Ronda. However, I believe that this injury on Becky was a blessing in disguise, and I've seen a couple interviews, including with Lance Storm, who's like, it's unfortunate, you never want to see them hurt, but it does kind of work in their favor because Nia now gets real heat, and you can build that up. Becky now looks like they're going to WrestleMania with the whole Ronda versus Becky, as opposed to what they had originally.
Was Ronda versus Charlotte?
Yep. So I'm thinking that this is finally like, okay, this is the plan that we had set with Becky. It's like it's undeniable. You can't surpass what Becky's doing right now. So it's like you said, Dan, last time, like fuck your plans, change your plans.
Yeah.
You know. So I think now with that being implemented, it's now a better thing. This match, I will say, it was a good match. I'm not gonna sit here and shit all over it. It was a good match. I was entertained. That beating. I was pretty brutal, and Dana was there to observe it.
What's your grade?
A.
I gave it an A plus.
A
Dan.
for ass kicking of a lifetime.
Dan.
A for awesome.
Here's my thing. I think I wrote it in here. If not, I think it's saved for my. It is for my next segment. But the greatest thing I heard in that match as she was leaving. You deserved it. You deserved it.
And I feel like she was mad because it's like, oh, now
It's in her
everyone's booing
hometown.
me? It's
Yeah.
booing me?
That's what made it better. They booed her in her own hometown.
Which I'm finally glad because it's about time that crowd has come to their senses.
Pittsburgh.
Here's the thing. Pittsburgh audience, you guys are idiots. LA audience, you guys are savages. You guys will let anyone know how you really feel.
Good work. Good work.
Final match?
Well,
Or-
let's talk about that last moment. Ronda, beaten, bloodied, wanders up the ramp, and up at the top, she looks back at the audience. Or am I on the wrong day?
No, you're
This
right.
happened, right?
You're right.
So she's standing there, and Nia comes out.
Oh,
Right.
that was
No,
wrong.
that was raw. That was
Okay,
raw. That was
so
raw.
then let's talk about Raw for 1 second.
Okay, so
So Ronda decimates Mickie James. Decimates her. Beats her. Makes her tap to that wonky ass armbar.
Maneuver.
That wonky ass maneuver. The
okay, I think we have to bring my segment in early after you're done.
they should call it the R armbar because it's Ronda Rousey. Get it?
R.
R because it's her initials. Shot Jesus.
That's not her initials. Her initials are
Oh my goodness. And so she is heading up the ramp, and out comes Nia with Tamina. She does the little dust off of the punch hand like it's a gun blowing off the tip. And then she leaves. Get the fuck out of here, Nia.
But see, now to an extent, that doesn't make sense because you have Nia who's being built up as a heel and Ronda who's.
Well, it's the big turn.
But go ahead, Kamish. I think this
No,
is...
get your point out.
Well, I pretty much got my point out. Okay, so I know in our preview we were hoping for a 4 versus 4 setup.
Yes.
We didn't get that. I thought
Yeah.
for a second we would.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for it. I'm hoping that we either get a 4 versus 4 or we get a Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania.
Now,
That's how you need to introduce it.
Now what if we get to WrestleMania and we have it set up as Ronda versus Becky and the match goes on for a little bit, and then you have it dissolve and then they turn it into the 4v4.
Is this at Mania?
Yeah. How,
You can have the 4
how would you guys
before
feel about
eventually
that if
lead
you
it to
have your
next year's Survivor Series.
Well, I'm saying, what if you have your single match, and then like between now and WrestleMania, you build up the other MMA chicks, and you have Becky and Ronda put on a competitive match. That one dissolves into some sort of chaos, and then they shift it. Hold on, playa. We're gonna make it a 4 versus 4 tag team match with the Undertaker.
Except it's not with the
Except
Undertaker.
not with the Undertaker. You just have somebody, Stephanie or Shane come out, or both. Have them both come out,
For once together.
and they just change your main event to the 4 versus 4, and we watch that entire match play out. That might take too long.
No,
But
you,
it'd be
you have
interesting.
time throughout the year to build the rivalry instead of 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4.
Yeah.
I would
time to build.
I would say I like that. However, I would want a decisive end to the Becky and Ronda match because we've talked about this with the women wrestlers. It seems like anytime when they get an opportunity, there's always a catch.
Yeah.
There's always a catch somehow. So I'm thinking, have Becky and Ronda, let the match finish. We're done. The bell rings. The match is finished. Then at the end of WrestleMania, how great would it be if the closing shot is the 4 on one side and the other 4 on the other side?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a sign of things to come. Show fades to black. And then you can build this all the way maybe until, if you can, Survivor Series because
You
that would
can.
be the most logical way
You
to
have
do
time
it.
to build it through the following pay-per-views.
Well, the booking committee.
You can build it through Extreme Rules, hopefully. You can build it through Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series. Because you do have a good booking committee on SmackDown. You just have a shitty one on Raw.
Yeah, there's that.
But
All right, but
so,
moving on.
To shift, we're
Quick side
introducing
shift.
something very new on the
A
show.
brand new segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commish, get real.
Okay. Now, you've all been wondering why I've been holding back for a while now. Yes, as long as I've been on the show and the network, I've been holding on a lot. And this is only a little bit of what I've been holding in.
Oh god.
A lot. Nia Jax.
Strong language, be forewarned.
First of all, how fucking dare you ruin what would have been a better match with Becky kicking Ronda's ass? Like, honestly, you ruined it for me personally. And then, what was it? 2 days after she did it, she goes on Twitter.
Oh.
No one cares about me. No one cares about my broken knuckle. And then you're proud of it on Sunday? You're an idiot. You really are an idiot. You try to do this whole committee thing of not being a bully. You know, that bullying is wrong. What did you pull off on Raw that night? The most bullying of bullying antics that I've ever seen in a while. By punching Becky in the face. Not as a kayfabe injury, but as a legitimate injury to a competitor that didn't deserve it.
So you're taking it as she deliberately did it.
Yeah, because she's
Intentional.
proud of it. She's proud of it, and now she's gloating about it. She's having, like, the Raw team announce it as the face breaker. But yet, a few days ago, you're bitching and complaining that no one gives a fuck about you, that, oh, my knuckles hurt, no one's giving me attention. You punched someone in the face and almost could have, like, cracked their skull, and you fucking idiot. The fuck is wrong with you? I think everything you did at Survivor Series was bullshit, especially what you did to Sasha Banks. And I am not the biggest fan of Sasha
Yeah,
Banks.
he's not.
I do not like her. I get it, you're related to Snoop Dogg, but even then, I don't think he claims you. But what happened to you sucked, especially at the hands of that dumb bitch. I know I am an advocate for positivity when it comes to the women competitors, especially on this podcast, but honestly, what you've been doing is fucking ridiculous and fucking stupid. Now, Rhonda, you are in your hometown of LA, and you're getting annoyed at your home crowd because, one, let's be real, no one in the WWE likes you. Nobody likes you. Two, everyone in this network has not been a fan of your push at all. Not Dan, especially not Sean. The fact that your hometown chanted she deserved it, I was very happy. I was watching this pay-per-view late that night, and I even was chanting as loud as I could. I'm pretty sure my roommates banged on my wall to have me shut the fuck up.
What did she say when she was coming up the ramp? She turned to like a fan on the left side.
That's what I'm gonna mention.
You're not a man, I believe is what she said.
That's what I'm gonna. No, this is okay. So it's a man calling her out on that. Why? Because the guy specifically reminded her about her past. That Amanda's the best. Amanda implying Amanda Nunes of UFC. The last opponent she had that beat her ass. And that exposed her again. Wow.
Wow.
We're really salty about that, aren't we, Rhonda? Salty bitch.
Wow. Wow.
And I thought I was brutal.
If she can't take criticism in MMA, she can't even take it here.
I feel like Ronda is one of those competitors where if she's doing good, then oh yeah, I'm doing good. But the second when things don't go her way,
Why? Why is it in my favor?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In MMA, nothing is scripted. Nothing is booked in a certain way. You have to compete and fight. And if you lose, you lose. You take your ass beating like a man, like a woman, you get your ass beat, period. And the WWE things are a little bit more protective, a little more scripted, but you still have to wrestle. You still have to compete. If you don't like how things are booked, you don't like the fact that Charlotte beats your ass like a child, then shut the fuck up and leave. vacate the title to stupid ass Nia, and then let's have a whole redraft. Let's bring Becky into Raw and let's have Becky steal the belt from Nia at that point. No, I'm just saying this if Ronda Crybaby Rousey wants to fucking complain about how she's being booked. You're still undefeated, and you've stolen spotlights from people that deserve the spotlight, and you're crying like a little fucking punk about it. Fuck you. And that's how I keep it real.
All right, so I guess that's the end of the segment for this week.
Wow.
So do we think that?
Adam, come.
Do we think that Charlotte's beating was a form of hazing? Do you think Charlotte kind of went rogue?
Back in that, and like in the Attitude Era of hazing?
Yeah, I forget it. Because it's not called a rib for that, is it?
No.
Ribs are typically pranks.
Yeah. No, hazing would be something like this, or if not as extreme,
Yeah.
it would be more like, you're not one of us yet. You have to prove yourself.
So it's like,
You know the whole thing with JBL and his bullying.
Yeah.
so like a tough love type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
The
a
Rock got it.
rite of passage. Like, do we
if
think?
we think about it in the careers of many, The Rock got it, Shawn Michaels got it. A lot of the up and comers got it. John Cena got it for a while. Let's be real. Randy got it, and
Steve Austin got it.
unfortunately with Randy,
Remaster.
with Randy, he got injured, but he still earned the respect of his fellow peers. I think honestly, by Charlotte doing it, it's showing a sign of like, hey, all the female talent is not happy with you. You haven't really earned your spot in here, like all of us have. Like Sasha, like Bailey, like Nia, like Naomi. You can name a female entertainer, and they've all earned their spot.
Yeah.
I think Asuka even earned it with the whole thing of ruining her undefeated streak. That was her way in. But ever since then, she's taken everything like a champ.
Yeah.
Some things have been booked against
He
her. Some
had to
things.
bring it up.
No, but am I wrong? Hasn't she earned her spot with the women's roster?
Asuka?
Yeah.
She has. I just remember the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but that's my point. Ronda hasn't earned her spot on the roster to be included in that, not into that sorority. Granted, it's called fraternity for the men. I'm labeling it as sorority for the women.
Yeah.
But my thing is that it's like, you've taken away the spotlight from people. You glorified yourself as being undefeated. Even Michael Cole had to do it for you. And it's like, and then you have Renee and Corey defending you. Corey, by the way, is supposed to be unbiased heel. For
Yeah,
both
but he
brands,
has his moments where he favors either a face or a heel.
which is annoying because at first he never favored her. Now all of a sudden, because she's getting beat, Charlotte couldn't beat her. Charlotte just had to snap. It's like, are you kidding me?
So let's recap. You debut by taking the spotlight away from Asuka after the first Royal Rumble win.
First women's Royal Rumble.
And then you get booked into a mixed tag team match where you just waltz on in and it's like, yeah, we're going to put you in this match. We're not going to give Sasha and Bailey their match because screw everything that they've done, but we'll give you your match. And then Nia Jax spontaneously goes, I want you to be my next challenger. I don't want anybody else. I want you to be my next challenger. And you get a title match. And then you get another title match with my Lexi and you beat her.
I like it.
Yeah, she's my Lexi. And you beat her, and then you take away the main event at Evolution, which should have been Becky and Charlotte. I know it, you guys know it, everybody knows it, Vince knows it. But no, let's get Nikki Bella, the person who recently got dumped by John Cena and has not been on TV for over a year. Yeah, let's give her the main event along with And then you get to Survivor Series, where the first time, that's not a snap.
It is because you're getting mad.
I'm not getting mad. I'm being passionate about what I'm saying.
And that's the same thing.
You get to Survivor Series, I have to take a beat down. I have to look weak. What?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
So yeah, you deserved it.
All right. Cool.
So after
You have no adamant thoughts about this?
No.
Dan, I know.
told you I was pretty chill.
No, I know you're the logical and the chill one out of the three of us, but come on.
You can chime in something about how you honestly feel about her. It doesn't have to be hatred. It doesn't have to be immense hatred.
Okay,
We're
so
both immense. Let's be real.
I was willing to give her a shot when she was announced as coming to WWE. I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. The first thing that put the bad taste in my mouth was the Royal Rumble because I'm a staunch fan of Asuka. I love Asuka.
Asuka.
And so they sent her out for no reason. It didn't build any story except, look, I'm here. You don't need to be here. And you
Can't even see her finger through a leather
and
jacket.
you sure as shit don't need to be overshadowing somebody else. And then we go on, and she gets the challenge from Nia, which didn't make any sense, except for Nia wanting to, I guess, prove herself. But that was stupid.
So you have no thoughts about the WrestleMania match?
I think
Which WrestleMania match?
The
Ronda and
Angle
Kurt
and
versus
Stephanie and
Stephanie.
Triple H.
Oh no, I forgot that match happened.
That's how forgetful it is.
And so
She buried Stephanie.
and then she goes on. She gets the title off of Alexa. Let's be clear. At this point now, if there was ever an arm that should have been taken for a souvenir, probably should have been Nia's. Because if she hadn't had that arm, she wouldn't have punched Becky in the goddamn face. But
Asshole. Wow.
anyway, so we move on. Like I said, I've been trying to be objective. In terms of performance, Ronda's been getting steadily better. I don't have a problem with her as a performer. As far as her placement on the card, as far as her character, Like again,
Strong development.
she's getting better. She's getting better.
Slowly.
So she's growing on me a little bit in general. But obviously I still have preferences. I've got preferences in the form of Becky Lynch. I'm still out on Charlotte here because I'm not a huge fan of her myself. I liked what happened the other day. I think it's an interesting character development. I like Asuka. I'm sad that she's going to be in the women's tag team division if that happens with Naomi. But
Well, then you can just see her and Naomi just kick fucking the Iconics' ass all the time now.
oh, good, because I need to see the Iconics.
Nobody needs to, by the way.
I know. I'm coming around a little bit, but she's still not there. I think that this was a good thing for the fans to see the beatdown with the kendo stick because it shows that Ronda's not. She's not being protected as much as everybody thought. Like, you still had to go out there and take some stiff shots from a kendo stick and have a chair stomped on your head. So let's see where this goes.
Alright.
But I feel like we should wrap up Survivor Series now. Let's move on to our final match of the night. Brock Lesnar versus AJ... I did it again. Versus Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan.
Newly crowned WWE champion, by the way,
The new Daniel Bryan. If you watched SmackDown.
last week. When he won the title in a low blow, knee crushing.
I'm getting the feeling that no one wants AJ to have any more kids.
Probably not.
Not Shinsuke, apparently.
Doesn't he
Or Daniel.
already have 3 or something?
He has 4.
He already has 4. We don't need more.
Technically, he has 5 with Joey Samoa. But,
And so the match begins, and you got Bryan who starts kind of taunting Brock.
bad idea. Or
He-
was it a good idea?
He's outside the ring. He's not getting attacked. He gets back in the ring while Brock's on the outside. He does what looks like an Irish jig, but is intended to mock Brock's bouncing. And Brock gets in the ring, and Bryan goes down for a while.
I was legitimately concerned when they announced this match. I'm like, German suplex and Daniel Bryan's neck.
The first German suplex looked pretty nasty.
All of them did.
Like, Bryan lands face down. The camera gets right in his face. I was a little concerned that he wasn't
he had like
there.
a blank stare.
Yeah, but Bryan's also a good performer, so he was probably just selling it.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, and I wrote this down. I wrote it like this: Daniel Bryan used what I call the best strategy against Brock by utilizing his size to both his advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah.
Why? Because yes, you're tossing him around like a rag doll. Literally suplex after suplex. You even at one point wanted your own chant, which the crowd started. Suplex City. And at that point, you're either more morally concerned for Daniel, you're wondering, oh my god, he's going to die tonight. Or is he doing this long enough to tire out the beast? Which I felt like he was, because if you think about it, at one point, when he finally got caught off guard, Daniel Bryan struck.
Yeah.
And the match turned right in his favor.
Yep.
And I thought he could have stolen the win. Even if it was booked for Brock, he could have still stolen the match by surprising us all. Like, oh, you took the ass beating of a lifetime just to inflict it right back real quick and winning.
It would have been a nice way to kind of put the cherry on the top of Survivor Series. Have that be the only win they get, but it's the most
But it's
significant
the crucial one. And my thing with that,
Just play the game, Sean. Jesus. So
Are we talking about Triple H?
no, we're not talking about
No,
Triple
he's-
H.
be in favor for once.
2K19?
No.
The first thing, only on the WD. No, that doesn't sound right.
Only for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X.
And
Not
PC.
not a bad game. Consequently, if you have 2K19, go out and download my David S. Pumpkins.
Getting it tomorrow.
What was I gonna say though? So
Daniel Bryan.
I did criticize Brock when
For?
he took 3 fucking kicks to the head in the same position, because we were sitting there and he takes the first one and he goes back for the second thing and he bends down and Bryan kicks him again and then he does it a third time. I'm like, why aren't you learning?
Wait.
Why haven't you learned?
I think it was the sell, but at the same time, I think he got caught off guard with the first one. It was like,
Yeah.
this is how he wants me to do it? Okay. But then I think by the second kick, he was kind of like, okay, that one actually hurt more, you son of a bitch. And then, okay, now there's a third one. All right, I
Yeah.
get it. I get what you're doing.
So Bryan gets up, he gets caught in the F5, which takes out Mike Chioda's face.
Yeah.
Bryan lands on his feet. So he doesn't actually get F5'd. He lands on his feet, and we see a repeat of Tuesday night, where he kicks Brock right in the junk and hits him with that good old knee.
That wasn't enough, though, because apparently there was still a kick out. Brock's starting to get pissed. And apparently Daniel started attacking his knee. Best strategy. Take out the force and carrying the weight of somebody in the legs.
Yep.
Which you see happen when Brock tries to attempt the F5, but his knee buckles, landing Daniel in the right favorable moment to make him tap.
Which for a nanosecond, I'm like, oh my god, they're doing it. Which would have been perfect. I thought that would have been great.
Bryan locks him in the yes lock. Brock kind of muscles out for a second,
And then he
until
locks him back
Bryan
in, right?
clubs him in the head 5 or 6
I thought
times.
that would be it. The second time when he got it, I'm like, that's it. That's it. He's tapping.
He cinches that yes lock back in. But that, not where it ends.
And by the way, Paul's selling the whole match great.
Oh, when Bryan was getting suplexed, Paul Heyman was like,
Oh my god!
No, but then when he was seeing his boy lose, he was in fear, like, oh my god, it's actually going to happen.
he's disrespecting.
Yeah.
That wasn't in this match.
No.
Granted, he's telling him that, or he wanted to tell him something like that.
Just to like rally him up.
I just think, like, in the match, like, Paul is giving credit to a lot of good wrestlers throughout their careers and through this match. The fact that I think he wanted Daniel Bryan instead of AJ says a lot.
Did he want Daniel Bryan instead of AJ?
Well, that's what instigated the whole AJ versus Daniel Bryan match at SmackDown. Because not only is it a sell to give Daniel the title, but it's like, okay, my client doesn't deserve you again. He deserves someone better.
All right, the promo.
Yeah. And my thing is, I thought if it was AJ and Brock, it would have ended with Brock winning by, like, just destroying AJ.
Yeah.
I don't think AJ could have
We
given
were
a good
actually
show.
we actually had a different take because I said Brock's gonna win. You said AJ was gonna win.
I wanted AJ to win.
and you said it might come up to a no contest. We were
If
all
it-
like
if-
on different
It
sides.
was like that because we wanted to book it where Well, I wanted it to be AJ because I would have thought at nowhere he would have caught Brock off guard just like Daniel did. You said Brock was going to win just because it's Brock Lesnar. He's burying somebody.
Yeah.
You said no contest, I think, because
It would have protected both guys.
yeah.
So it seemed like the safe play by WWE.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I think in this whole year, this is Brock's best match. Out of all the ones he's had in every pay-per-view.
Yeah, because all matches have just been finishers.
But this time he had to wrestle. He had to fight someone. Granted, yeah, the first like 5-10 minutes it's all in his favor. But when he realized that, oh, little guys can catch me off guard, especially one as little as him, I actually have to fight him now.
Yeah.
And he's showing, okay, he still has the ability to wrestle you. Granted, he still wants to go to UFC in a couple months to get Daniel Cormier's belt. And I'm sorry that we're plugging UFC, even though this is a wrestling podcast, but that's what Brock wants. But according to Paul, depends on the paycheck. It really depends on the paycheck for Brock to go back to UFC.
You will not find that fight only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable, very reasonable price of only $9.99.
You'll find it on pay-per-view for
$60?
Or live
80.
stream.
It's
What?
80?
UFC events get pretty costly for crappy fights.
That's why you go to a bar
Or
Ah.
Facebook.
Or piracy.
or Facebook.
Someone films it on
So,
Facebook.
somebody call Kyrie Sane. Piracy.
I get it.
But yeah, I thought this was Brock's best match in the whole year.
That just
And
reminded
this
me
year.
of TakeOver. By the way, TakeOver was great. You got Kyrie Sane and Io Shirai and that Johnny Gargano and A-lister black match. Woo. Wow.
I didn't know the Miz was on the show.
But I'm just gonna go quick into the grading of this.
A-lister.
I gave this one an A-.
I'm here for the jokes, Shant. I came for the jokes. I made them for The Rock.
For only $9.99.
What's your guys' grades?
What did you say you gave it?
A-.
I would give it a B just because I feel like Brian should have walked away. Because one thing I always observe is the gear, the ring gear. And if you paid attention, Daniel Bryan comes out, he doesn't have all the flashy colors. It's now just, black knee pads, black
I mean,
knee
his
pads.
Seattle Seahawks colors.
Okay, maybe that too. But I think he was really going in the direction of like, this is not the yes, yes, yes. And,
Even though he tried to do the yes chant.
and then he brings it down. He's like, no, I'm not giving you that satisfaction.
But I think they started chanting no when he was trying to start it. Some people you could hear yeses. I heard some no's in there.
But I think this was like an entire shift in like the Daniel Bryan character, where if you walked away with that win, it's like I just beat Brock Lesnar, and you can just build on that.
In honor of Daniel Bryan, I'm going to give this match a B+ for the B+ player.
Alright, final grading of this entire pay-per-view, and it's all because of the AOP bar match. B.
See, at this point, Survivor Series has lost its prestige. Let's be honest.
B-. I'll split the difference.
It was an okay event. You had a few matches that saved it, but you also had crappy ends to certain matches that should have ended differently.
Yup.
Yeah.
That were booked incorrectly. or
Mediocre booking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
That's the easiest way to kill a show.
do we expect better out of TLC? Who knows? Are we
No.
going to get better? Not really. The only thing I can honestly say I'm looking forward to is the Intercontinental title match finally. Seeing these two compete. Seth Rollins, a.k.a.
Sako Rollins, Jan.
versus Dean Ambrose. No longer being called the Lunatic Fringe, but they gave him a new nickname. I forgot what it was. Because what, Seth's the Architect?
By the way, that pissed me off so bad when
What?
he's like, "Look at Roman." I'm like, no,
Oh,
no.
the fact that he's still bringing
no.
maybe it's real.
No, because this time it was because we talked about this last time. It was indirect when he's like, people were like, "Why on that day?" I'm like, okay, that's a little bit more indirect, fine. But this time when he's like,
Roman's
"Look at
gotta
Roman,"
answer to the man
he's got to answer to the man.
upstairs.
I'm like, oh my god, no.
It's like a shitty pseudo born again Christian gimmick that he's running with. He's like, we're paying for our sins. Look what we did. My question, and this could just be me not paying attention. You should go back and watch the clips from Raw and SmackDown if you haven't already, because we're recording after both shows. Is TLC a Raw pay-per-view, or is it both?
It's booked as a Raw pay-per-view
Okay.
so far.
So I'm not going to care.
Very
Well,
well.
let's be real. Most Raw pay-per-views have been shitty. Extreme Rules is the best example of it.
Well, we were just talking about the poor booking, and
Well,
Raw
if it's any
is-
consolation, even a dual branded pay-per-view like SummerSlam,
If there's one show though that is the A show for D level booking, it's Raw.
the B team.
No, it's Raw. He's right. But I think we're a wrap.
Yeah.
Sean?
There you go, guys. We gave our take on the Survivor Series 2018 pay-per-view, which you can catch on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Woo.